my beloved, my child of light, the one about whom heaven whispers as the stars flicker at night. Pay close attention, because this isn't your normal case. There are only 2 minutes left. The hourglass in paradise has recently turned. Archangel Michael is calling your name as he holds his sword of truth. God has summoned you. This should not be neglected. Avoid the error of not pursuing it. My child's behavior resulted in an untrue statement about you. They said derogatory things about you behind your back because they want your blessing above everything things, not because they believe you committed the act. They are purposefully spreading lies in order to hurt you. However, make sure you remain alert. Ignoring them will lead to their success. If you don't pay attention, you'll be held responsible for an offense you didn't commit. Can you envision the gravity of the situation? Archangel Michael and God both beseech you. This message is not an accident. It's God's meddling. My lover, they tried to hide your fate by inventing false allegations, since it is too dazzling and sacred. They hoped they could entangle you in chains, but heaven has already set you free. I must inform you of this before revealing their identity. Your spirit sensed something was wrong right away. The sudden weight, the whisper in your sleep, and the tension in your chest make you feel unwell. God warned you in advance. It was never meant that you bear the repercussions of their wrongdoing. However, He chose this moment and message to expose the previously concealed information. They never intended for you to wear the cloak of dishonor they made. Please remain calm, my darling. Take a deep breath, for the events that follow will have a tremendous impact on your life. Archangel Michael states, I will scream the truth so loudly that the demons who orchestrated this will be brought to their knees. Tetiki. I'd want to ask a really important question. Stick to me. It is critical to avoid skipping any lines, as this is where the fabrications unravel. Before I proceed, please confirm that you understand my message. This communication was delivered to you for a specific purpose. Do not abandon it. Please do not disrupt the running of paradise. Certainly, my darling, if this voice speaks to you, please subscribe immediately, as each message communicated here is more than just words. This message serves as your protection, warning, and marvel in action. However, before continue, I would like you to take action that brings a smile from paradise to this message and your life. While you are reading this warning, I need you to click the like button. Engaging in such behavior isn't just for the algorithm. It is a spiritual emblem. You're informing heaven that I agree to this. I agree with this. I'm currently alert. Pressing the like button invites God's goodness to enter your life. The act of opening a channel enables God to intervene. Execute the action instantly. I appreciate it. God should witness your marriage. Also, be conscious that God's favor is already moving in that direction. Avoid wandering without the protection of heaven. Please do not disconnect, since the next message could be the spark for a tremendous transformation. To keep communication, it is essential to subscribe. Simply clicking the subscribe symbol and activating the bell is inadequate to follow a channel. You are harmonizing with a prophetic current. You are communicating with God that you want me to be ready for your future communication. Subscription in the spirit realm is the same as subscription in the outside world. You are tuned into the frequency of God's warnings and promises for your life. Please subscribe now if you have not already done so. This is the moment your prophetic alignment is sealed. Maintain contact, since the next message could be critical in protecting your entire future. Please pay care. They were in close proximity to the person who accused you. They smiled at you. It appeared that they were concerned, but they were plagued by jealousy. They were waiting for you to fail. Do not be nervous. Their fabrications will be unsuccessful. Their identities will be revealed. Justice will not simply free you. It will also increase your strength, according to Archangel Michael. God promises that if you stay with me, I will turn their trap into their downfall. My dear, now is your chance. Do you understand the relevance of this? Heaven is screaming for your attention. Please avoid from leaving this page. Do not deactivate this device. The doors will close in 2 minutes. You will also be unable to identify their name, protect yourself, or stop the erroneous punishment once they have closed. Archangel Michael is currently standing with his sword raised, awaiting your response. Will you reject or assert the truth? Heaven drew closer as your eyes greeted these words, my beloved child. It may not be obvious to you, but the boundary between the spiritual and physical realms is today more tenuous than it has ever been throughout your life. God's hand is on you, and you are trembling with anxiety. The sword of Archangel Michael has already been raised, and it is blazing with divine light. However, there are still shadows advancing against you, shadows who have the chutzpah to create a false narrative in your name. This is not similar to hearsay. This is a major injury. No, sweetheart. They invented an infraction and attached your name to it. Their goal is to entangle you, strip you of your dignity, and watch as you are taken to a place where you do not belong. They plan to imprison you for a crime that you did not commit. However, heaven will not allow this to happen if you remain committed to this message to the end. I don't believe this is a coincidence. The skies aligned for this confrontation right when you stopped reading. God directed him to notify them that my kids should not be burdened with an unjust name. And Archangel Michael, who has been waiting like a lion in chains, suddenly rushes forward and announces, "Beloved, only 2 minutes remain." The deception will continue unabated if you turn away your attention. If you don't skip and hang on, the chains will fracture. The person who accused you has long smiled at your accomplishments, but privately cursed you. They disguised their friendship as a ruse. They used love as a disguise. However, they felt hostility toward you. And tonight, heaven reveals them. Their name is soon to being revealed. However, because the truth is not completely visible, your faith must act as the foundation for your presence in this region. It must be fully opened and welcomed. Do you currently feel a tremor in your chest, that unpleasant feeling that won't go away? Your spirit recognizes the risk that has been planted against you. You were aware that someone was devising a plot. You were already aware of the heaviness, strange looks, inexplicable tension, and shift in the air. These were not just coincidences. These were the first signs of distress from the heavens. However, this message is not just a whisper. A thunderclap descends from the heavens. God himself says, "My child, I implore you not to disregard this, or you will be the one to suffer the consequences." I do not feel this is exaggerated. Archangel Michael persisted. The gates of justice have been visited, and I have watched their strategy unfold. Nonetheless, their method will be ineffective. If you persist, remain alert, and refuse to submit, you will not face a bogus consequence. Rather, the world will be made aware of their secret sins. Consider the repercussions of ignoring this. You would be similar to someone who approaches a snare while blindfolded and is unaware of the repercussions. Consider the following scenario. The blindfold has been removed, and your pupils are now visible. The identity of the liar has been revealed to you. You are not being opposed by the court of heaven. It's in your favor. This is currently at jeopardy, my darling. However, first, I must inquire about an important topic. If these words are already piercing the very essence of your being, and you can feel the breath of heaven passing through them, do not expect this to be a one-time encounter. Stay in touch. Sign up now, as every message you get on this platform is more than just text. It is a lifeline sent from above to keep you from becoming entangled in the unpleasant repercussions that others intend to inflict on you. The upcoming warning, shield, or breakthrough should not be disregarded. Do not allow yourself to sway, my love. Engage in the flow of these divine messages. I'll now proceed. The person who wrongly accused you is also trembling, but they don't show it. They were confident that no one would discover their fraud. They were under the notion that the rumors would be confirmed and the documents signed. They assumed the truth would never be revealed. They were unaware that God writes in fire, whereas people merely write in ink. He heard every word. He kept a record of all the fabrications. He chronicled everything they did to damage you. He has now announced that their disguises would be removed. Archangel Michael advises, do not be concerned, my dear. Their names are etched before me, and if you stay to the end, you will see what they thought would never be disclosed. I do not want my child to bear the burden of another's envy, God says, his voice quivering. I am opposed to punishing my loved one for an offense they did not commit. Maintain your awareness. Pay close attention to my activities. As you read this, the fabric of their scheme is unraveling. Heaven is transforming what was intended for harm into your protection. The untruth is flimsy, and your trust is the hammer that breaks it. Heaven strengthens your defenses the moment you stay in this area and refuse to leave. Therefore, pay attention, as their identity will be disclosed in the next paragraphs. The chains planned for you will be seen for what they are, traps of jealousy and hate. Your identity will now be more visible than it was previously, rather being obscured by muck. This message is more than just a warning. It is one of deliverance. The simple act of obeying, remaining here, and fully opening this activates the hand of heaven to strike on your behalf. Beloved, this is just the beginning. Heaven continues to communicate with my beloved child. The spirit world changed as a result of this opening. What had been kept quiet for months or perhaps years began to unravel. Archangel Michael has already stood between you and the penalty that was written in error, though you may not be able to perceive it with your natural eyes. The shouting of God has subsided. This curse will not be passed down to my children. My children will not enter chains that are not their own. This is why your pulse is racing and your chest feels heavy. The battle is not easy. The person who accused you believed they were cunning, that no one would find out the truth, and that their remarks would stick to your reputation like mud. However, heaven forbids the spread of falsehoods. The truth is a flame that shines brighter than the darkness this evening. The accuser is near, so you may be hesitant to accept it. They approached your table. They grinned in your presence. They pretended to cheer you on as you advanced, but they wrote their names on a piece of paper soaked in poison behind your back. God declares, I have witnessed everything. I thoroughly chronicled every aspect. I will ensure that the events they planned for you do not take place. They didn't just make up a story about you. It was designed to deprive you of your liberty and make you appear guilty, despite the fact that you have not done anything wrong. However, do you remember the content? No weapon designed to hurt you will be effective. This weapon was built. However, it will not function properly. My child, you must remain because you will lose the safety that God is currently giving for you if you ignore this warning. The person who accused you believes their scheme is set in stone. Nevertheless, Archangel Michael claims that heaven has the power to overturn it if you remain steady. The balance is inadequate. You are constrained by your want to remain. Please keep the information I supplied. A single choice, decision, or act of obedience can set the tone for everything else in life. This is one of those moments. You were not brought here by chance. This is how you were presented. Your guardian angels have been speaking, tugging, and yanking because they understand that you need this information. You have only a few minutes till the spiritual portal closes. If you do not fully open this, the warning will disappear. This is why you feel such a great feeling of urgency. Please close heed, as God's activities go beyond simple caution. He also conserves. He resolves issues. More is generated by Him. He will use what was meant to tear you down to raise you. God will declare in the light what they spoke in the dark. The deception they used to eliminate you will now act as a tool for your advancement. Beloved, do not be afraid, says Archangel Michael. The truth is not subject to compromise. The truth is a sword, and I am using it to defend you tonight. But first, please listen to me. The words you are currently hearing are not intended for today only. Another plot is set for tomorrow. Next week, an additional snare will be installed. Next month, another fiction. This is why you are unable to walk alone. Avoid becoming exposed. Beloved, subscribe. Do not hesitate to subscribe, as each letter sent here is not random. It's a rescue. It's a direction. This is a map. When the road is foggy, skippers collide with barricades. Those that retain links enter through the entrances. Avoid cutting oneself off from the flow of the divine. We'll now return to the person who accused you. In addition, I would want to question about a critical matter. If these words elicit a response in you, if you can feel the truth breaking through barriers as you read, then this is something someone in your life needs. Quickly, before you forget, click the share icon. Share this with a friend, family member, or acquaintance who is under attack or has an unneeded burden. When you disseminate this prophetic word, you are doing more than just sharing a video. You are releasing an anointing. You become a conduit, and the breakthrough granted to them will be magnified in your favor. Sharing begins the anointing of multiplication over one's own life. Execute the action instantly. Distribute it. Be a conduit for the salvation of another person. The person who wanted to imprison you will soon be exposed for their true nature. You will not have to engage in physical warfare with your limbs. Heaven will advocate for you. And when the moment comes to be exposed, you will rise with dignity, your name shining more brighter than before. Be cautious. Kindly avoid from skipping. You can now perceive the truth, which will keep you safe. Beloved, this is only part of the proof that must be given. This enormous scroll includes various cautionary statements. However, if you stick with me through every word, you will not only be able to identify their identity, but you will also understand why heaven chose you, why the enemy has such a deep fear of you, and why your destiny is impervious to theft, despite the numerous fabrications that are spread about you. My beloved, do you realize how important your name is to God? When you were born, angels brought your name to God's throne. He wrote it in his book with great emotion. This is why your adversary has continually nurtured enmity against you. This is why people you had previously trusted may turn against you. This explains why envy seemed to follow you whenever good things happened. Because of the trust that others place in your name, it represents optimism, destiny, and light. Those spirits are more susceptible to jealousy as the world darkens and the light brightens. Given this, someone close to you decided to falsify details about your name. You were judged responsible for their humiliation not because of guilt or wrongdoing on your part, but because of how you carried yourself. They dragged you down to make their shadow less intense in comparison to yours. Do not be concerned, declares God to his children. Your name will not be engraved in chains. The Archangel Michael exclaims, I will split the sky if necessary, but this false crime will not bury you. Currently, you are on the verge of destiny, my dear. The documentation has been circulated, the narrative has been written, and the storyline is practically finished, despite its concealment. However, God detected it before the snare was sealed. This is the reason your spirit is energized. This is why your ribs are painful. Your consciousness is foggy, so you can't fall asleep at night. It was palpable. You were aware that something was wrong. The validation has been received. Take this into consideration. By skipping or walking away, you are rejecting the key that will set you free. God placed this message in front of you because he understands the power of revelation. When a falsehood is exposed, its impact weakens. Hearing the warning from heaven is akin to avoiding the devil's trap. This is your chance to run from danger before their lie lands you in prison. However, the ghost is content if you do not pay attention. They would argue that we fooled, blinded, and induced them to scroll away, so facilitating the spread of the enemy's falsehood. Please avoid from allowing that to happen, my dear. Remain. Please restrain from departing. I've been looking forward to the opportunity to tell you the truth. Archangel Michael claims that the accuser's identity is readily available. The lips that smiled at you before are now speaking against you. The hands that appeared to be there to help were actually composing your death warrant. Nonetheless, those palms will be noted. Their joy will decrease. Their deception will unravel. When this happens, your name will look even more amazing. God constantly turns assaults into stories as a result of this secret. The ditch into which Joseph's brothers threw him served as a gateway to his throne. The cross on which Jesus was crucified paved the stage for his resurrection. The false offense that was written against you will now be used to bless you. However, my darling, be cautious. Those who stay alert will be fortunate. Avoid being unconscious during this time. Please do not skip the section titled, Heaven is Breathing. I would like to encourage you to further awaken your essence at this time. Compose the word Amen again in the notes section, but this time change the pronunciation. This Amen assures you that God will use the enemy's efforts to weaken you to raise you. A single Amen is enough to remove a stone from the grave that they sought to dig for you. Type it now and feel a sense of relaxation as the burden is lifted off your shoulders. Do not sleep at this hour. Please do not skip the portion that begins, Heaven is breathing. Each sentence in this section is like a protective barrier that is being built around you. Each paragraph is like a blade being sharpened. Your stay time grows as your protection strengthens. Please pay care. This message isn't meant to be transient. Much more will be revealed, warned against, and conveyed as the truth. This is why you are unable to walk freely. Esteemed, I implore you to subscribe. Maintain your safety during this circumstance. Stay away from a world where the adversary schemes every day and lies spread like webs. Listen to the message from above, for tomorrow may bring a new plot, and you will need the next message to guide your activities. Please, dear, we should proceed. Individuals like this person are more than just adversaries. They are someone with whom they were previously close. You were saddened by their betrayal since you never anticipated their words could express such duplicity. In contrast, heaven claims, I perceived it prior to its occurrence. I heard them mutter before they spoke. They will be unable to finish the task that they have started. This is why you are currently viewing it while the window closes. The deception is spreading, and it's too late. Nonetheless, heaven has signaled that it will not continue past this stage. My beloved, you must be aware of a dangerous situation. The attacker does not target you because of your vulnerability. It is due to your choice. The enemy would not use his weapons against you if you were ordinary, your existence unimportant, and your spirit lacked illumination. Do not be concerned. You have been identified, selected, and a crown awaits you. The silence of darkness will not last. You are being attacked because you possess a valuable asset. The false charge brought against your identity was never really about you. It was tied to what you were carrying. The goal was to silence your voice, hinder your progress, and crush your spirit. However, heaven claims that it will not function. It is impossible to shut off what I have anointed. What I've blessed can't be condemned. I understand your suffering, child. When a person is betrayed, chains are placed around their neck. It generates a deeper incision than any other blade. Despite your love, kindness, and faith in them, they continued to belittle you. When you looked at them with sympathy, they responded with deception. This is why it produces so severe agony. You could have overlooked an accusation made by an unknown person. However, this person was not a recent arrival. They were so close that they were aware of your name and story. They were so close that they could have entered your heart. Nonetheless, this is a significant consideration. They are not even in close proximity to God. They are not comparable to Archangel Michael. They are not as close as the angels that accompany you. They may have sought to change your existence, but they cannot impact your soul because it is placed in heaven. Heaven is currently removing the veil off their faces. Their fabrications are already starting to unravel. Is this not something you can relate to? The sudden impression that something hidden is emerging is caused by heaven drawing back the veil. I will not permit my child to fall into the traps of liars by walking blind, says God. You are being shown something before the storm arrives. No, this is not a scary warning. It acts as both a warning to prepare and a declaration of triumph, as the accuser's claims cannot bear investigation. Lies are destroyed when the truth is revealed. But child, it is critical that you stay visible. That is why you are present. This is why you are unable to continue. This is why the message is so vital. If you speed your pace, you will be unable to see what is behind you. You are safe as long as you follow the guidelines. You have a firearm. You have a shield. Every second you spend in this lie, its power fades. Don't dismiss this moment, warns Archangel Michael. The significance of what is written in heaven far outweighs that of individual rights. Avoid moving. Remain hidden behind the shield. The sword is completely equipped. The deceiver is fast approaching the end of his time. I must restate that. It is impossible to drift independently. Stay in touch. Esteemed, I implore you to subscribe. Each message offered here is a divine rope that saves you from the suffocating sea. Please refrain from cutting the rope. Do not obstruct the flow. It's probable that another fabrication will be revealed tomorrow. Next week, an additional snare will be installed. You won't be taken off guard if you're protected and linked. It is crucial to remember that a person who walks with God will never become blind. Please pay close attention because I am about to make a more crucial comment. The person who accused you planned to do more than just harm your reputation. One of their objectives is to make money from it. They told you a lie in order to get attention and hurt you. They believed that if you remained silent, they would be able to thrive. They imagined that by restraining you, they would be liberated. They had no idea you weren't standing on your own 2 feet, though. You are consistent with God's certainty. It is also a strong promise from God. It is immune to envy. Lies cannot pull it apart. This cannot be gotten by fraud. God's words for you will last longer than any fake signature on your future. I'd like you to think about something, my child. Lies must eventually come to an end. They may radiate briefly. They may appear to be a realistic option. They may be able to motivate huge gatherings. However, the truth exists indefinitely. The truth is on your side. Heaven will expose the truth, even if men initially believe the lies. Individuals may express displeasure of you, but God's voice is more strong. Even if documents are signed against you, your name has already been wiped from the book of life. The person who accused you is still trying to fathom the concept of touching God's chosen. They thought they were brilliant, but they dug themselves a grave too deep. The snare they construct will eventually serve as their final resting place. Beloved, prepare your heart, because their identity is about to be revealed. Archangel Michael declares, I have it. The scales of justice will soon change. Be alert, God commands. You will not be surprised if you keep attentive. My offspring will perform much better once the truth is exposed. My true love, you are perched on a sacred threshold that separates safety and peril. In the physical world, people may feel that existence evolves gradually, but in the spirit realm, everything can change in a moment. A single accusation has the potential to change someone's future. A single lie can irreversibly harm a reputation, and a single false accusation can send a person's life into a downward spiral. Nevertheless, heaven does not allow wrongdoing to continue permanently. This is why your intuition led you to this spot. It's not only the words you read. You look to be in a court of law in paradise. A magistrate is present at this place. The lawyer is present, as is Archangel Michael, the warrior, who holds his sword aloft and shouts, "Do not allow this moment to pass." Please do not skip, since this will simply serve to perpetuate the deceit. Persist, and the truth will become more clear. Consider the potential implications of staying silent. Consider the suffering that would occur if you were not protected. The person who accused you is aware of the power of language. They understand the serious ramifications for society when falsehoods are promoted as truth. They assumed that if they spoke loudly and presented their story in front of a large enough audience, suspicion would overwhelm them. They assumed that no one would argue for you, but they were misinformed about the mathematics. They disregarded the fact that you were not strolling alone. The fact that your name is recorded in flames in the book of paradise was disregarded. They failed to recognize that God treats fake allegations against his child with extreme seriousness. Do you understand the gravity of the situation, my dear? This is why your spirit is trembling while you read. Fear is not the source of trembling. Honor is what it is. It is the voice of your spirit informing you that the information you are getting is correct. In other words, there is indisputable proof that heaven is blocking your route to keep you safe. No, the objective of this message is not to cause fear. It is there to protect you. This is why Archangel Michael stated there were only 2 minutes left. It stays accessible because it is widely acknowledged that the opportunity to enter is limited. Now pay attentively. It is critical that you are informed of the source of the attack. Anger was present. Envy was the motivator. That was the suppressed wrath of someone who couldn't stand your rising. They assumed that your downfall would assuage their feelings of inferiority. People felt that your chains would free them from their personal demons. However, animosity is never a desirable conclusion. Envy is destructive to oneself. Regardless of whether they excavated a pit, pits have a tendency to eat individuals who dig them. They increased the sharpness of a knife. However, people who use blades with rage may be injured. This is why God tells his children, do not be afraid. They aim to fail. However, God still asks that you be vigilant. Please refrain from departing. Kindly avoid from skipping. Prevent the closure of paradise. It is necessary to be aware. It is impossible to become trapped in the same way after attaining information. The veil is torn, providing an unhindered vision. This message is ripping the veil apart. This is why you remain calm despite the need to respond quickly, as your spirit is aware. You are being saved before any unpleasant occurrences occur. Before I continue, my dearest, I'd like to provide this reminder. Be a part of the flux indefinitely. It is advised that you get many warnings. You need more than one message. Given that the adversary is always alert, you must avoid growing overconfident. Please do not unsubscribe. Maintain your grasp. The stones positioned in your route with each word will keep you from falling through gaps. It is absent, and the road is dark. It adds sparkle to the path. Consider the likely content of the following message if this one has already been received. Always be conscious of your fate. I am now required to tell you of the weight of the item that will be delivered. The identity of the accuser will be revealed in the near future. The murmurs are already developing. Individuals who pay attention to them are already asking questions. Inconsistencies are now being investigated more closely. Liars respond with fear. Their evenings are difficult. The truth will not stay silent, and this makes them feel bad. Nonetheless, they try to conceal it. The truth is mute. It is painful for individuals who feel remorseful. It causes anxiousness among them. It will soon stop being a secret. The liar will have to face the embarrassment they tried to put in you. And you'll be correct when that moment comes, my dear. Standing is permitted. You will be more radiant than you were before, because people who have been cleared of spurious accusations are as radiant as gold that has undergone a fire test. My sweetheart, you are infused with gold. It exists, whether or not you are aware of it. That is why this was meant for you to hear. What was the purpose for this message being delivered to you rather than another person? You are now in the furnace, but are not on fire. You're improving. The conflagration that was supposed to extinguish you will instead serve to highlight your greatness. The contrived offense that was meant to bring you down will now work to raise you. The name was attempted to be stained, yet it will still shine like a crown. Please do not dismiss the current circumstances, my beloved. Are you aware of how many times this deity sought to contact you in the past? You awoke when you felt an uncomfortable weight on your chest and had strange thoughts. It wasn't an accident. These were alarms. You ignored them. You suspected that it might be due to tension. You believed it could have been your own psyche. However, the alert has been turned into a trumpet. This message is represented by that sound. Archangel Michael is causing a stir. God intends that you feel it in your emotions. Here's the music. Do not let a false charge to rule your life. I will bring you home if you stay, remain, and receive. The deceiver believed that their remarks would form a link between you and them, similar to a chain. They assumed that if they mumbled for an extended period of time, others would be able to hear them. As a result, they assumed that grinning at you and disparaging you behind your back would keep the mask working. However, those who manufacture information are mocked in the heavens. The truth spreads more quickly than their remarks. The truth cannot be hidden indefinitely, despite the fact that many people may be misled by their lies. Cracks have already started to show. Already rumors are emerging. The plot has already been revealed, and the unraveling becomes more severe the longer you stay in this environment. Do you understand the relevance of this? They do not have the luxury of time, but you should not allow their lie. God says that in the spirit realm, doors close, opportunities expire, and warnings fade. Thus, there are only 2 minutes left. That is why you must keep vigilant. Your protection is the obligation to obey. Your decision to remain is what has saved you, and I urge you to make a decision that will be heard in paradise right now. Please include the following 3 words in the remarks section. I will avoid from skipping. Distinguish them. Ensure that your writing is precise. By saying the words with your own mouth and using your fingers, you are notifying the adversary that his trap is useless. You are indicating to heaven that you are awake, aware, and ready to accept the truth. Write it down right away. I will avoid from skipping. Continue reading, as they are currently building the fortress. They do not have the luxury of time, but you should not allow their lie. God says that in the spirit realm, doors close, opportunities expire, and warnings fade. Thus, there are only 2 minutes left. That is why you must keep vigilant. Your protection is the obligation to obey. You were saved because you chose to remain. Archangel Michael declares that the truth will reverberate like thunder, and the false allegation against my child will crumble if they do not skip. I understand that your heart is in misery, my dear. The grief of being tricked, betrayed, and threatened with disgrace is evident. Nonetheless, God urges them not to carry it. Place it on me. I will protect you. Fighting does not require physical contact. You do not have to shriek louder than the liar to prove your innocence. As long as you stay in the light, heaven will be your advocate. God will demonstrate your innocence. Archangel Michael will handle the sword. The angels will illuminate the darkness, and you will be liberated. However, freedom requires loyalty. Please do not conclude this too soon. Please refrain from leaving before to the disclosure. If you continue, it will be clear who is telling the truth. If you stay, you won't be surprised. If you keep your cool, you'll see the person who accused you crumple in the face of their own comments. This is the cause behind the message's longer length. Heaven builds a wall around you with every phrase. Each paragraph depicts the rise of a wall, the sharpness of a projectile, or the elevation of a shield. It is advised that you stay until the fortress is complete. Also, keep this in mind, youngster. The conflict you are presently experiencing is not the last one. More details will be forthcoming. Angry people are unable to sleep. Jealousy is a difficult feeling to conquer. That is why you must conceal yourself. Refrain from becoming distracted after reading this message. Esteemed, I implore you to subscribe. Keep this paper because it is not currently considered a criminal violation. Tomorrow may imply a betrayal of affection. It's probable that it will be a financial setback next month. However, these remarks will not damage you. They will protect you from any possible injuries. This is not currently the case. It is relevant to your entire future. We should go one step further. Heaven had difficulty pronouncing the accuser's name. Archangel Michael is currently in possession of it, and it will be uttered at the appropriate time. However, be aware of this. The moment their name is announced, you will experience an unanticipated jolt. You couldn't believe they could do such harm to you. That is why it will be painful. Even when it is difficult, the truth has the ability to heal and will do so. Once the truth is exposed, the suffering will pass, and the liberation will last. Ultimately, you will remember this day not as the day you collapsed, but as the day you were saved. My beloved, it is critical that you understand the significance of this time. Your situation is not novel. It has happened to all of the designated people throughout history. Potiphar's wife made a false charge against Joseph, which led to his imprisonment for a crime he didn't commit. Individuals in positions of authority falsely accused Daniel and placed him in the lion's lair out of jealousy. Jesus was wrongly accused by priests seeking to gain control of him, and despite his innocence, he was crucified. Do you understand what I am saying, my child? False allegations are often used to pursue the chosen. The chosen ones are relentlessly sought by lies. Betrayal repeatedly targets those who are in God's favor. Nonetheless, the manufactured accusation failed to eliminate any of them. It served as a catalyst for their climb. Joseph was released from prison and traveled to Pharaoh's palace. Daniel's accusers were destroyed as a result of his refusal to communicate with the den. The resurrection of Jesus changed everything. This is why you shouldn't be concerned. The deception is, in reality, harmful. Certainly, the charge filed against you is incredibly serious. Nevertheless, you are not the first person to be accused, nor will you be the first to be cleared. Heaven has already planned your conclusion, which is not enshrined in shackles. It represents liberation. It is not the source of guilt. It is a matter of integrity. This is not a loss. I want you to be very confident that you believe this fact right now. This is evidence. Please leave one word in the remarks area below. Amen. This is not an empty phrase. It is a declaration that you believe that the finish of your story in paradise is preferable to any falsehood produced about you. Imagine your faith rising like smoke before the throne as you type this. Please stay with me as I reveal an even more important subject. Indeed, the falsification is dangerous. Certainly, the charge filed against you is incredibly serious. Nevertheless, you are not the first person to be accused, nor will you be the first to be cleared. Heaven has already planned your conclusion, which is not enshrined in shackles. It represents liberation. It is not the source of guilt. It is a matter of integrity. This is not a loss. This counts as evidence. However, you must remain in this revelation. You cannot escape by scrolling. The voice dying to protect you cannot be silenced. The window is small, and if you don't see it, you can unwittingly fall into the already established trap. Archangel Michael addresses the audience with urgency. The deceiver assumed that their voice would never reach you, dear. They wanted to keep their ideas a secret until it was too late. However, I am present, wielding my sword, and effectively pulling aside the curtain. Do not pass up this opportunity. If you dismiss this advice, the person who accused you will be able to drag you down. These are not kind words. They like shouts coming from the heavens. They support your life. Is there a stir in your spirit? As you read, you can feel God's affirmation in your soul through the restless fire. You already had the idea that someone was to blame. A weight could be felt near them, but it was impossible to pinpoint its location. You have already seen the indicators. Their grins were hollow because of how they appeared, spoke, and smiled. Heaven is communicating to you what your heart already understood. They're the only one. They are the ones making the accusations. They betrayed you, and their name will soon be revealed. I have another item to talk with you, youngster. This attack was not accidental. It was calculated. They committed the deed while they believed you were vulnerable. They took some time to find you since they expected you to be engaged with other concerns. They chose this time period because they felt it would be the most effective. I watched their synchronization. God declares, I will overturn it. The moment they considered was best for your destruction will be the most effective time for me to exhibit my influence in your life. Maintain this reality in your head. The light of truth is more luminous when the deception is more sinister. The truth will not only clear your name, but also show theirs. Those who were formerly suspicious of your ability will now pay you tribute. Individuals who disparaged you behind your back will stop doing so. Individuals who sought to bury you will note your present height. This is the fairness of paradise. That is the guarantee that will last endlessly for you. However, stay near, my beloved. This notice remains unanswered. Refrain from leaving until the stronghold is completed. Each word you hear forms a barrier that surrounds you. With each line you keep, your shield strengthens. Omitting lies may harm you. The wall remains incomplete, but if you stay until the end, no one will be able to enter the stronghold. Please remain, my beloved. Only then will you witness the liar's downfall, asserts Archangel Michael. The enemy assumed that their whisper would go unnoticed, my beloved. They expected the darkness they enclosed around your name to remain hidden, but light cannot be hidden. Do you understand how God operates? He does not allow shadows to dominate indefinitely. A lie can last for a while, but it has no eternal vitality. There is an end to the era of lying in your life. The false charge hurled against you makes you shiver. Even as you read this, the liar is aware of it, but they do not understand why. There is unease in their evenings. Their spirit is restless. Their assurance is slipping as the truth seeps through the flaws in their veneer. Do not be concerned with the comments people have made about you. Fear the repercussions of rejecting this truth. Archangel Michael appeals since he is aware of the records. The signatures are apparent to him. He witnesses the ambush they have planned. However, he also sees God's fire hovering over you, ready to reduce the snare to embers. This is what makes your story so interesting, kid, if you remain and allow heaven to accomplish its task. Their remarks don't define you. Your identity is established by your position before God. They may label you as a criminal, but God sees you as a chosen individual. Others may accuse you of being guilty, but God considers you virtuous. They may describe you as weak, yet God regards you as adored. Avoid allowing their comments to have a detrimental impact on you. Allow God's instructions to purify you. That is the difference between freedom and bondage, and you are meant for liberty. Nonetheless, I feel forced to divulge a painful fact. You will be surprised when the truth is exposed because the accuser is so close. They're not unfamiliar. They aren't geographically distant. They are someone with whom you have a close relationship, in whom you have placed your trust, and who you have allowed into your life. This explains why the betrayal is so profound. This explains why it feels like an unexpected dagger. Nonetheless, don't let the trauma hinder you. Allow it to liberate you. When the reality is revealed, you will realize that their grin was a front. Their generosity was an act. Their togetherness was an act. And you will be cured when you understand it clearly. God instructs his offspring not to neglect this. You will easily fall into their trap if you leave before the reveal is completed. Do not turn away. Archangel Michael informs you that the truth is on the fringes of your perception. Please refrain from closing your eyes at this moment. Beloved, this is why you must remain. The story is incomplete, but the ending is triumphant provided you keep your devotion to paradise until the end. He had the option of dropping the case after being charged. He could have quit up and said, "What is the point? I'm reaching the end of my life." He chose not to do so, nevertheless. He refused to give up and ended up in the penitentiary, which brought him to the palace. Observe how the same thing that was supposed to pull him down eventually exalted him. That is the outcome that awaits you. The false accusation will not cause your death. It will improve your well-being. The falsehood will not make you more susceptible. Your testimony will be irrefutable. Furthermore, those who mocked you will see the great effect of God in your life. However, avoid abandoning the assignment prematurely. This voice should not be stifled. Stay at your present location. Remain. Allow heaven to do its mission. Do not be alarmed by the shadow that attempted to conceal you. The shadow is audible, but it will not last forever. Are you unable to remember the information that has been written? Knowledge of the truth will set you free. The truth is the key to unlocking all jails. The key is now in your hands. Archangel Michael persisted. Beloved, I am a watchman. If you stay in this location, no trickery will trap you. Nonetheless, if you choose to skip or walk away, you expose yourself to danger. When you were a child, you could have pondered, why me? What is the reason why others consistently target me? What is the cause of the predominance of falsehoods in my life? What is the manner in which betrayals stick to me? Heaven says, because you were chosen, because you have been chosen, and because you carry light that darkness fears. Abandonment should not be mistaken for an attack. Nobody would care to fight if you were abandoned. The arrows are directed toward you because you have been chosen. However, the arrows will shatter since you have been chosen. Stay, Archangel Michael is calling out. Kindly avoid from skipping. Please wait until the end, as the deceiver's name is currently written in front of me and will be exposed soon. The time is almost approaching for you. Currently, there is far less veil. The disguise is being removed. The person who tricked you is currently suffering tremors. They feel the humidity of the outdoors. However, they refuse to reveal it. Their name will fall like a stone, whilst yours will shine like the sun. Nonetheless, you must remain in this dress until that moment. This message isn't just a collection of words. It serves as a protective barrier. With each line you stay under, you create a barrier between yourself and the lie. Every time you listen, the shadows fade. Refrain from leaving until the stronghold is completed. My beloved, while the earth inscribes charges on paper, heaven inscribes the truth in stone. Stone has a longer lifespan than paper. It is simply a temporary signature. God made an eternal commitment. Breaking this certainty about your existence is impossible. The writing is safeguarded by Archangel Michael's sword and sealed with fire. As a result, while their deceit appears to be strong, it pales in comparison to the eternal law that was decreed in heaven respecting you. The deceiver has gained confidence in their talents, but this confidence stems from their lie. Do not forget what happened to sand-built homes. They disintegrate when the storm hits. The severity of the tempest has already increased. They are unable to watch it at the moment, but they have a limited period of time. The guy who soiled his child's name, touched God's anointed, and attempted to tarnish innocence cannot be avoided. Heaven takes time to become outraged, but once it does, nothing can stop it. Archangel Michael's statement is owing to the fact that there are only 2 minutes left. Justice is coming. Exposure is imminent. However, to witness it, you must be awake. If you turn away at this point, you will miss the celebration of your win. This will be confirmed in the very near future. Do not think that no one has noticed you weeping. Heaven recorded every night you mourned, every moment you felt the weight of their sin, and every whisper you heard behind your back. The sobs you weep behind closed doors demonstrate that God is correct. He remembers his children and announces, I observed, I heard, and I shall recompense. It is not as if he abandons his beloved, and you are that beloved. The accuser's name is considerable, and it will fall with a tremendous crash. People will be taken aback. Some people may wonder how it is possible that it is them. However, you will not be taken aback. You could already sense it. Your spirit was aware of the circumstance beforehand. When that happens, you will be not only liberated but also elevated, for this is how God functions. He transforms the enemy's aim to damage into something positive. However, my dear, it is critical that you keep your head where. Do not listen to it once and then dismiss it. You require the flow of paradise to be continuous, not sporadic. As a result, we recommend you to subscribe right now if you haven't already. Not after, as you recall, but immediately. This is your moment to capitalize, as neither you nor your attacker are particularly patient. By subscribing, you are creating a space in your home where paradise can make frequent visits. In other words, you are saying, God, I place myself under your open window of blessings on a daily basis. Each message conveys a new reward, warning, or promise. Please don't overlook it. At the moment, press the bell to subscribe. Stay in this location because the voice of heaven is being heard. Register and set up your anchor here. You are protected by each syllable. Each message represents a wall. All novel concepts are similar to swords. The adversary is constantly developing strategies. As this message closes, I'd like you to make one final declaration. A proclamation that confirms the claims made by heaven about you today. Please add these words to the remarks section. The time for my vindication is fast approaching. Please refrain from writing. I am confident that my vindication will be forthcoming. In writing, I receive my vindication with authority. Write as if it were a prophecy about your own existence. When you enter those words, you aren't just commenting. Your voice aligns with God's appraisal of your situation. Your admission eliminates the fabrications. Execute it promptly. The time for my vindication is fast approaching. Keep an eye on the situation. You will be liberated soon. Similarly, you must remain under God's protection at all times. Now that this communication has completed, I extend my blessings and surrender authority. One more thing. Before you leave, inform others of this knowledge. It is critical that you are there with the person who the Holy Spirit has called to your notice at this time, rather than in any other area. The first person who comes to mind may be someone with whom you haven't spoken in a long time. When you spread the prophet's message, you are doing more than just disseminating content. You are spreading liberty. You are passing on the anointing that liberated you to another person who is still enslaved. And after they fulfill that goal, it sets off a new one for you. The moment you share is seen from above. This person not only got, but also contributed. Additionally, individuals who help are rewarded with more resources. Simply press the share button. Send it. It is critical to remember to obey God and follow His subsequent acts. You will remain unharmed. You are now ready to proceed. You're improving. I wish you a pleasant journey. Before we wrap up this captivating story, I recommend that we take a moment to reflect on this deep reality. This message was not discovered coincidentally. This is not just a coincidence. This is Archangel Michael's direct message to you. He extends his hand and invites you to a high vibrational, protected community where divine abundance is more than a hope, but a promise. This spiritual idea is quite simple. Nonetheless, it has the capacity to transform your entire life. You will not just gain blessings if you follow it. They will multiply and permeate all aspects of your existence. Accepting this invitation grants you immediate early access to potent content and heavenly insights that are now unavailable to the broader public. You now have the opportunity to enter a sacred area where you will receive unshakable support, spiritual guidance, and speedy progress towards your destiny. Action is required. Your abundance is ready. Do not disregard this, my cherished child. Heaven has recently unlocked the gate for you, despite the fact that this message was previously blocked 3 times. God Himself murmured, "Let them see it now." The object you are about to open was made specifically for you, not your acquaintance or neighbor. Are you aware of how rare this is? This message was attempted to be erased by the adversary on 3 separate occasions. They attempted to silence the voice of heaven 3 times. However, Archangel Michael was on guard with fire in his hands, and God told him to extinguish it instantly. They're prepared. This is why your pulse is racing. This is the reason your spirit soared upon observing these words. My dear, this is not a mere coincidence. This was not an accident. This is an appointment. This mail has always included your name. If you seal it, the entrance disappears, leaving you bewildered for years as to why things felt incomplete. However, the floodgates of heaven will ultimately release my beloved if you remain and open your heart. Pay close attention. However, Archangel Michael says, the floodgates of heaven will finally release if you stay and open your heart. Type Amen in the comments section as your powerful declaration of faith if you are prepared to receive and experience the truth of this divine appointment in your soul. My beloved, pay close attention. Archangel Michael declares, "Tell them that this is sacred. Inform them that this is a sealed document. Inform them that this is the final warning before beginning the shift." You requested a sign. You sought confirmation in prayer. Heaven has finally given its approval. It's this notice. So this is the solution. This is the moment you have been anticipating. You are not accidentally present here. You did not come to this site by chance. Your spirit was directed to this location. For nights, the angels have whispered your name. The Spirit has compelled you to pursue your goals. Finally, the barrier has been overcome. This message was successfully delivered to you after being blocked on 3 separate occasions. Do you perceive a change in the atmospheric pressure surrounding you? Do you have the sense of shivers running through your body? Do you find yourself weeping more frequently without knowing why? This serves as confirmation from the heavenly realm. This is your evidence. This is the divine echo that guides your psyche. Yes, this is intended for me. Archangel Michael informs them that the benediction will be reassigned if they depart at this time. If they do not leave, their inheritance will be sealed. There is only one option available to you. Will you disregard this moment? Alternatively, will you allow your heart to open and accept the treasure that has been hidden for eternity until now? Take a rest. Is it audible for you? Heaven is leaning in, which is why the quiet is so profound. The angels are maintaining their oxygen. A loved one is whispering your name from the other side. They begged God for the opportunity, and heaven eventually agreed. This is why this message made it through the darkness to reach you, my kid. This is just the beginning. If you continue, you will learn the entire message. If you persist, what was previously concealed will be revealed. If you stay, your life will change dramatically over the next 7 years. Archangel Michael declares, "The miracle has been awaiting." Refrain from closing your eyes at this time. Do not turn away. Stay until the end. Lean in closer, my little child. This is not another qualifying term. This is the one that was hidden, shut, and forbidden entry. The enemy attempted to bury it 3 times. They fought to exterminate it 3 times. However, God suddenly emitted a thunderous voice. Allow them to see it at this point. Additionally, your continued presence indicates that you have already emerged victorious in the conflict. Are you aware of the reason for the specific sensation your psyche is experiencing right now? The presence of heaven alters the atmosphere around you. Your chamber is populated by angels. The sword of Archangel Michael was drawn. He declares, "This moment is sacred. This is a divine moment. This hour is dedicated solely to their name." Please keep this in mind, my child. You are not able to receive anything unless God permits it. If this message has made it out of the shadows and into your palms, it is strong. It carries light. It includes the response to your silent prayer. Denial was not the cause of the delay. It functioned as a precaution. You were under heaven's protection until the perfect moment. Finally, the appropriate moment has arrived. Stop. Take a deep inhale. Is there a feeling of weight pressing against your chest? That is not an issue of anxiety. It is an acknowledgement. This voice is recognizable to your spirit. You can feel this summoning in your spirit. You have been awaiting this for a longer time than you may have imagined. This is the reason your eyes are unable to turn away. That is why your heart understands that you are unable to scroll past. Archangel Michael notifies them that their blessing has been postponed due to the enemy's concerns. Inform them that their marvel was concealed due to its excessive power, which rendered it impossible to disclose it prematurely. Inform them that their inheritance has been delivered due to God's spoken word. This is why the message was delivered at this time rather than sooner. You were not ready at the time, but now you are, my dear. Consider the evenings in which you were unable to fall asleep. Consider the visions that made you feel agitated. Consider how your thorax ached without any apparent cause. That was your soul's hunger for an experience it couldn't describe. The identity has now been disclosed. Fate. God exclaims, I am no longer silent. I am no longer hidden. I am present. I'm presently engaged in chat. I'm currently recovering all of the stuff that the adversary attempted to steal. However, it is critical that you remain. You must allow the entire phrase to penetrate your consciousness. If this is closed at this time, you will be navigating blindly. However, if you persist, your path will be illuminated. If this message verifies that your long-awaited miracle has been unlocked, please express your satisfaction in the comments area. My inheritance has been secured. Allow this act of faith to function as the key that opens the door. All right. You're still present. This message does not conclude with you, son. These were not coincidences. Heaven had prepared you for this time. Don't overlook it. Engage in the task. Let us return the missing object to its rightful place. The gates of paradise remain open because you are still present. The scroll continues to unfurl. The camouflage begins to unravel. The reason Archangel Michael smiles is that your spirit has elected to heed. The spirits are overjoyed about this. Please listen to this, my sweetheart. The next step you do is not normal. It is significant for the subsequent 7 years of your existence. If you advance without this word, you will tumble into invisible dangers. However, if you follow this word, you will witness marvels beyond your greatest conception. This is the reason it was barred on 3 separate occasions. The enemy knew that if you noticed this, they would be unable to maintain control over you. The chains are currently in the process of separating. Currently, the fabrications are dissolving. The delay is finally coming to an end. Heaven proclaims that you have been liberated. You've been selected. My sweetheart, you are prepared. Maintain your proximity. It is critical that you continue to be a part of this heavenly connection, as the heavens are calling out your name. Immediately subscribe to this channel. This act declares your commitment to remaining in perfect harmony with God's prophetic promises, never missing a word He has specifically planned for you. This letter was blocked 3 times because it included a conflagration that darkness was powerless to control. Archangel Michael has notified you that the adversary has already given up their hold on the situation. However, the infant is not allowed to disregard the circumstance. The infant is required to remain attentive until the conclusion. Do you feel trembling in your soul? Fear is not the cause. It's the dawning. Your spirit is aware that an ancient occurrence is occurring. The voice that your heart prayed to hear is recognized by your heart. This is not a normal circumstance. Every line is interlaced with God's murmurs. This is the moment of miracle that you never thought possible. My dear, you believed that you had been overlooked. You were under the impression that the heavens had fallen silent. You thought that your feelings were invisible. However, not one drop was ignored. A single prayer was not squandered. According to Archangel Michael, each lament was recorded in the scrolls of heaven. Each lament has been replaced by a command for miracles. This is why the delay was resolved today. This is the reason God said, "Child, listen to me." There is an individual in your vicinity who has not disclosed the truth. They cover themselves with grins. However, their hands are filthy. They try to obstruct, confuse, and hamper your progress. However, they are being revealed by the heavens. Your intuition was accurate. The weight you felt was discernment. Additionally, God is now validating this information. Have faith in the information I've put in your soul. The truth is on the increase. It will become accessible to you shortly. Fear not when it is revealed. Do not tremble when the mask descends. Your name is being chanted from heaven. This letter was blocked 3 times because it included a conflagration that darkness was powerless to control. Archangel Michael has notified you that the adversary has already given up their hold on the situation. However, the infant is not allowed to disregard the circumstance. The infant is required to remain attentive until the conclusion. Do you feel trembling in your soul? Fear is not the cause. It's the dawning. Your spirit is aware that an ancient occurrence is occurring. The voice that your heart prayed to hear is recognized by your heart. This is not a normal circumstance. Every line is interlaced with God's murmurs. My beloved, this is the moment of miracles that you thought would never happen. You believed you had been overlooked. You were under the impression that the heavens had fallen silent. You thought that your feelings were invisible. However, not one drop was ignored. A single prayer was not squandered. According to Archangel Michael, each lament was recorded in the scrolls of heaven. Each lament has been replaced by a command for miracles. This is why the delay was resolved today. This is why God said, "Release it immediately, child." Please listen to me. There is an individual in your vicinity who has not disclosed the truth. They disguise themselves with politeness, but their hands are unclean. They try to obstruct, confuse, and hamper your progress. However, they are being revealed by the heavens. Your intuition was accurate. The weight you felt was discernment. Additionally, God is now validating this information. Have faith in the information I've put in your soul. The truth is on the increase. It will become accessible to you shortly. Fear not when it is revealed. Do not tremble when the mask descends. The divine statement states that I am your guardian. I am your advocate. When the truth is revealed, I will not allow you to stumble. This is intended to protect you. This acts as a protective covering. This is the assurance that you are not alone. Type a resounding amen below to confirm that you trust God's divine justice and protection over your life if you accept the truth that God revealed what was hidden and protected you. Please take a moment, my dearest. Inhale the spiritual aura. Is the stillness becoming more oppressive? This is the presence of your guardians. Their proximity surpasses that of your epidermis. They are watching, anticipating your decision. Because their power is unlocked by belief. Their wings are freed by faith. And your continued presence here serves as evidence that your faith is still active. Archangel Michael is unequivocal. Inform them that signs will be present for the next 14 days. Please inform them that the next 48 hours will be somewhat unexpected. Inform them that the number 7 will be presented as evidence. And when it does, they must not be in doubt. The indicators will be irrefutable. The alignment will be magnificent. The shifts will be irrevocable. However, this is contingent upon your continued readiness. Only if you remain alert. Simply by keeping this message in your spirit. My offspring, the one you lost. The individual who departed prematurely. They are now present. They beseeched God for this opportunity. They implored Archangel Michael to grant you the ability to see. Heaven has finally given its approval. Their voice trembles for eternity. I will remain with you. I've never abandoned you. I was there to support you whenever you felt isolated. I was praying for you every time you wept. I was whispering your name whenever you were in doubt. Do you experience an abrupt sensation of warmth on your shoulder? Do you see the crying erupting without reason? You feel their affection. It is their presence that is emerging. That demonstrates that you have not been abandoned. You were never left behind. I am pleased to see that you are still present. In addition, your ongoing presence will cause paradise to expand. The scroll continues to unfurl. The revelation continues to flow. The miraculous continues to be unleashed. Archangel Michael declares, "Tell them that this is sacred. Inform them that the document is sealed. Inform them that this is the last warning before their fate changes." My darling, this is not a form of entertainment. This is a rescue effort. This isn't an additional message. The message goes as follows. Your existence will never be the same again if you remain. If you pass on an opportunity, it may never come back. Please do not depart at this time, my beloved child. The air around you is precious because you choose to stay. Every second you remain is a second that the heavens use to revise your story. Archangel Michael says they are still making a choice. Their decision will be remembered through generations. Stay and make a decision regarding your destiny. This is more substantial than a single sentence. This marks a critical turning point. Consider the instances in which you experienced a sense of being invisible. Those evenings when your pillow was soaked and you saved your voice for God. At the time, He heard you. He listens to you at this time. God declares, "I have tallied each and every tear." This moment was created from the tears you shed. You were never disregarded. Your preparations were beginning. The message's potency is why it was blocked 3 times. Darkness retreated each time, as it was aware that the truth would disrupt its plans. However, he claimed that God had the last say. Allow them to observe it. The heavens were transformed by that consent. Someone close to my child is wearing a disguise. They behave as thieves, despite the fact that they speak like allies. Your instincts sensed the experience. Do not ignore the little alarms in your chest. Archangel Michael currently commands discernment. Your spirit's mild reminders should be taken carefully. Your intuition is not faulty. It is precious. A seemingly innocuous decision is imminent. It will be dressed in a way that reflects comfort, reconciliation, and ease. However, please remain vigilant. If you eliminate the illumination, you will be unable to see what God has planned. Refuse to accept comfort that compromises your destiny. Accept the painful release that leads to a breakthrough. You have been small in order to allow others to experience grandeur. You have sacrificed your relaxation in order to resolve their disorder. However, God has not provided any further instructions. This season ends because your perseverance is not the result of ignorance. Proof. Currently, evidence precedes compensation. Heaven is about to compensate you for the compensation you've already received. Are you experiencing the sensation of warmth that is building in your chest? That signifies the beginning of the repair procedure. Its gentleness stems from its accuracy. It will not arrive in the form of a storm, but rather as a series of minor, undeniable favors that accumulate to form a miracle. Witness the transformation of the everyday into the sacred. Your forebears are discreetly honoring the occasion. They stood in invisible lines and prayed for this hour. What you inherit is generational, not just personal, as Archangel Michael once stated. As you break chains, you also spread blessings. This moment has a history that predates your anguish. It has a future that includes heritage. This anointing is not meant for personal use. Share this prophetic word with the first person the Holy Spirit places on your heart. As you share, you activate this breakthrough for them, while also unleashing a strong anointing of multiplication in your life. Your former significant other is currently situated in close proximity, allowing you to breathe. They claim that I did everything in my power to ensure your safety. I ask your apology for the words I was unable to express during my life. Acquire in mortality what I was unable to deliver in time. Tears will be shed, but they will be cleansing, not debilitating. They will be the type to make room. Don't be taken aback by unexpected clarity. Individuals will disclose themselves without exertion. Messages will be delivered during unexpected hours. Numbers, sounds, scents, and small cues like breadcrumbs can guide you in the right direction. These are not just coincidences. They are confirmations. Archangel Michael warns, the enemy executes one final maneuver as a breakthrough approaches. Doubt may grow in your mind like fog. Voices from your past may be heard, pleading with you to return to a place of safety. Refrain from listening. Salvation does not always come through safety. The path to what God has for you is through courage. God states, I will not allow the truth to be taken away from you. If someone attempts to rewrite your narrative, heaven will amplify its voice. Their designs will dissolve into their own ruin if they conspire against you. When the miracle begins to manifest, you may be tempted to seek human approbation, as justice in the spirit realm frequently manifests as sudden exposure in the natural world. Do not exchange God's approval for human praise. The illumination that appears after this message is not intended for display. It is meant for sanctification. Maintain your modesty. Maintain your position. Continue to comply. There will shortly be a day when you will reflect and realize that this was the turning point. Your previous significant other is now nearby, allowing you to take a deep inhale. They claim that I did everything in my power to ensure your safety. I apologize for the words I was unable to express throughout my existence. I will receive in mortality what I was unable to deliver in time. Tears will be shed, but they will be cleansing, not debilitating. They will be the type to make room. Don't be taken aback by unexpected clarity. Individuals will disclose themselves without exertion. Odd hours, numbers, tunes, and odors will signal the arrival of messages. Small signals of progress, such as breadcrumbs, will suggest that you're on the correct track. These are not just coincidences. They are confirmations. When a breakthrough is nigh, the adversary makes one final move, as Archangel Michael warns. Doubt may arise for you as if it were fog. Voices from your past may be heard, pleading with you to return to a place of safety. Refrain from listening. Salvation does not always come through safety. The path to what God has for you is through courage. If you are willing to say yes to breakthrough and no to comfort that jeopardizes your destiny, make your declaration in the comments section with confidence. I am responsible for breaking the shackles. Allow this to serve as your public declaration of independence. God states, I will not allow the truth to be taken away from you. If someone attempts to rewrite your narrative, heaven will amplify its voice. Their designs will dissolve into their own ruin if they conspire against you. Justice in the spirit realm frequently arises as an unexpected discovery in the natural world. When the miracle commences to manifest, you will be apt to pursue human approbation. Do not exchange God's approval for human praise. The illumination that appears after this message is not intended for display. It is meant for sanctification. Maintain your modesty. Maintain your position. Continue to comply. There will shortly be a day when you will reflect and realize that this was the turning point. You will recall the exact moment when you decided to remain. The chill, the decision, and the murmur that warned, "Do not turn away," will remain in your memory. Your testimony will be based on that memory. The time has arrived to terminate old agreements. Please reveal them. Promises that you made in anguish. You made vows to ensure your survival. Agreements with individuals who harbored no positive intentions. Allow them to come into sunshine. The fragments will be collected by God and their splendor will be restored. This is the time for pruning. Abundant fruit will come from treasured, painful wounds that are now inflicted. Have faith in your surgeon. God knows just what to eliminate in order to promote the growth of your life. Archangel Michael is assembling an escort for you. Angels are responsible for facilitating meetings, opening doors, and protecting outings. Be vigilant for protection when you embark on your next journey, whether metaphorically or literally. It is in near proximity. Heaven does not fail to conceal its openings. You will receive a message that resolves a long-standing issue. This information may have come from a contact, a letter, or an unexpected name stated by another person. Upon its arrival, accept it as if it were a gift from God Himself. Avoid anxiousness and instead respond with faith. A financial unblocking is imminent. A relief that is supplied without strain as a result of the skies moving to offer what human mechanisms have denied. Do not permit avarice to establish itself when it arises. Use the blessing to restore balance, reconstruct, and reinvest in the truth. Your relationships will be tested. A portion of them will survive. There will be a few who drop out. May those who leave be blessed. They were not intended to bear your destiny. Instead, make room for the ones who remain. Heaven will choose them, not circumstances. The enemy's voice is most audible when it believes victory is near, or when ideas suggest one is inadequate. Please keep in mind that your name was inscribed in paradise before your failure. Performance does not determine your value. It is the identity bestowed by the Creator. All right, you're still present. While others might have glanced, you remained. As a result, you gain insight into a deeper feature of the scroll. The deity has now placed this duty on your shoulders. Not due to your perfection, but rather due to your willingness. Do not hesitate to say goodbye to those that limit your abilities. Allow them to depart without venom. Gently and firmly release them. You're not abandoning them. You're enabling yourself to receive. Praying is no longer a complicated process. Exclaim, God, I am the recipient. I relinquish. I'm convinced. Allow the words to infiltrate your body. Avoid overcomplicating the situation. Eloquent speech is not as highly regarded by God as genuine surrender. Michael, the Archangel, addresses the congregation. When the signal arrives, do not vacillate. Proceed with assurance. Assume that the blessing has already been given to you. The provision is activated by faith-based actions. The storehouses of heaven are unlocked through the combination of timing and obedience. Your heart will find calm in ways it has never experienced before. Not because problems are fixed immediately, but rather because the trial will give you a sense of purpose. Just as embers are fanned into flame, hope will be reignited. Trust is the final evaluation. Remember the nights you prayed in secret and how heaven responded when the enemy said, "This is too good to be true." Trust connects your past to God's promise. If you have been waiting for this confirmation and have chosen to trust, seal it in your spirit by typing a strong amen in the comments section below. The complete picture may not yet be visible. That is intended to happen. Your trust grows stronger as each fulfilled promise is fulfilled, and God provides step-by-step counsel. A word for the anxious. Breathe in God's cadence and take this journey one confirmed step at a time. Match the promise with your pulse. Allow each inhalation to be a moment of surrender. Allow every exhalation to be expelled. You were meant to manage this season. Listen now. A person will return with the truth in their possession. Examine them. Not by the grandeur of their words, but by the outcome of their lives. Heaven will clarify things for you throughout those interactions. Establish a modest area for gratitude. Celebrate the arrival of the initial modest favor. Do not delay your delight until the entire mountain has been transferred. Small gratitude altars encourage greater miracles. The Archangel Michael approaches the child and says, "This child has made a wise decision." The heavens are aligned, but they must still take action. The remaining elements are released through obedience. Respond to the subtle cues, such as a text response, a knock on the door, or a confirmation. Those ripples reach toward the skies. There will be a temptation to speed up the process. Avoid allowing faith to be extinguished prematurely. The miracle is sustained by the consistent, obedient movements. There will come a night of clarity, a premonition that changes your direction of action. Make a record of it. At this moment, consider it scriptural. Heaven communicates in different ways. Dreams are one of them. Forgive yourself for the seasons you believe you have squandered. God transforms loss into knowledge. Your wounds are not shackles. They are guides to your fate.